Hey, are you guys tired of making mental errors in MLB The Show 21? Well, in this video, lucky for you, we have the perfect slider stats that you guys can practice and custom practice so that you guys can know what to do with the ball when it comes to you in any situation. I'll see you guys in a second. YouTube, what's going on, peeps? What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Mike Sweetman back at it again with another YouTube video. And today's YouTube video, we are going to talk about the fielding concept in MLB The Show 21.
Yes! Yes!
I know there's a lot of questions that I get during my live streams and in general, you know, from the MLB Show community saying, you know, how do you field so well? You know, what do you know how to do? How do you know how to do what to do with the ball in a certain situation? How do you get your indicator right on the green every time when you throw the ball? Well, luckily for you, I have some slider stats and a perfect custom practice gameplay that will show you on how what I do for practice to get me ready on how to not really make any mental errors in fielding in MLB The Show 21. But before we get into that, I would like for you guys to go ahead and subscribe and hit those bell notifications button so that you guys are notified for my future videos. And it's a really big help on supporting the channel. Our next goal, we just hit 200 subscribers. I'm really happy. I'm really joyful, and I appreciate you guys. And our next goal is that we're trying to hit 300. So 300 is the next goal. But with that being said, let's dive into my fielding stats and my sliders of what I use for fielding in this game. Alright, so when we dive into our sliders, and I know this was not mentioned in my previous videos, but to get to your sliders, okay, all you got to do is, you know, this is the main menu, right? All you got to do is you go up, you go to this gear here, okay? So it says settings. All you do is you go to the settings, you hit X or A, whatever for Xbox, and then right there it says sliders right there, okay? So when we go to our sliders, when it comes to fielding, what I'd like to do, okay, you come down to this computer, the computer hitting stuff. Okay, what I like to set it on, I like to keep my computer's contact all the way up so that no matter what pitch I throw, you know, he's going to hit it. He's going to put the ball in play. Okay, when it comes to timing is perfect. I want him to time the ball well too so that he can still put the ball in play. Power's all the way down. Okay, we don't want our power to be up because, you know, our computer is just going to be hitting home runs for days. Okay, we don't want that. All right. And then when it comes to solid hits, we want that all the way up because we want to work on, just in case when our opponent hits solid hits, on what to do with the ball in the gameplay. Okay, so this is how my sliders really work in regards to fielding. It's something that I like to use a lot. It's something that you know, I'm pretty sure other goons as well like to use, top 50 guys. But this is where the sliders come key and helps you to be a better fielder. Okay, I hope this really helps in setting up your sliders. Now, when it comes to your sliders and saving it, I would highly recommend you save your sliders and save it as fielding. Okay, so that's what I like to do. You know, if you look at my sliders, I got fielding, and then I guess that's my like off speed one. I need to change that. But a swingman's usually my hitting one. But I save my other slider as fielding so that I can know, like, okay, this is my fielding slider so that I can work on fielding. Okay, so that's something that I recommend you guys do, is save it, and so that you guys can know, all right, how can you like kind of tell or kind of dictate which one's which. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys big time, because sometimes I'm like, okay, which one's which? I don't know. It's all called sliders. So anyways, that's how you do it. Let's dive into the situations piece and the gameplay piece. Okay, all right guys, so we're in our custom practice right now. So the practice type that you're going to do is team practice. So when it comes to team practice, you're going to go defense. Okay, you're going to go defense so that you are in defense and you're pitching. Okay, so it doesn't matter what batter or pitcher, I mean, really doesn't matter about that. I mean unless you want to kind of customize it in a way where you want to face a certain batter with a runner on base and so forth. But I really like it because you can do it on repeat, play, at bat, whatever. I personally like to do just maybe play or at bat, but it doesn't really matter. But I mean, when it comes to this is where it does matter, and you can put it in any situation. It's almost like You know, when I was in college, we did a little drill called 27 outs. Okay, and the coaches would basically put a runner on base and give us a situation. Okay, and that's just where the coach would hit it anywhere to see how our fielding would go and how it would work, right? So what I like to do is you always want to make it interesting, okay? You always want to make it maybe a runner on first. You want to maybe go 1 out, or actually 0 outs. We'll go 1, and maybe make the count a hitter's count, okay? Or it really doesn't matter. I mean, just whatever count you would like, or any count in situation you want to use. I mean, some guys like to do 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded, just so that it puts pressure on you to throw a strike. I know a lot of guys do that as well, which I mean, that's fine and that's perfect. But we're just going to do 1 out, guy on first with Pedro Martinez on the mound. Okay, nothing special. Okay, but what you want to do is you just want to throw fastballs. Okay, but basically you're just throwing fastballs and the guy's hitting them. And you're just basically going to see what situation you're going to do. So cutoff man right there, boom. Okay. Now the best thing or best tip that I can give you guys is before you pitch, okay, always think 2 plays ahead. Okay, in both infield and outfield. Okay, so when it comes to a hit in the outfield, what are you going to do with the ball? When it's left, center, or right? Okay, I know in this situation with the runner's second and third, if he hits a ground ball through the hole in my infield, I'm throwing home. I'm not letting that guy score from second. Okay, and then maybe, you know, when it's like a hit to the outfield, a fly ball, I'm probably going to throw it to third so that he doesn't also advance to third. Okay, and then obviously when it comes to infield, if I get a ground ball in the infield, I'm turning 2. Okay, I'm trying to get a double play. So let's see what happens here. What we do against Gwen. Okay, it's a ground ball to left field. So I'm going to cut it off right there and bring it home. Okay, that's how I do it. Okay, so every situation is basically different. And I'll show you guys I'll show you guys my hand cam here. Okay, but every situation is different. Okay, when it comes to this. Okay, so now we got bases loaded, 1 out. So I'm really looking for, you know, from my standpoint as a pitcher, to try to get a ground ball in turn 2. Okay, when it comes to a hit in the outfield, I'm going to try to throw home. Maybe cut off to home depending on my guy's arm strength. But I'm trying to make sure this guy doesn't score. And if he scores, he scores. That's how it is. Okay, so sometimes they're going to foul it off. But right now, I'm looking for a ground ball, weak ground ball, so I can turn 2. Well, when you get it. So that's something that I like to personally use. Let's see here. Okay, it's a fly ball to the left field. Okay, I'm probably going to cut it off because I know he's going to come home. So, because I think, I don't know who my left fielder is. But usually, if I have a strong arm, I'm going to try to go all the way. But I would always cut it off. The reason I would cut it off is because a lot of base runners see if you go all the way, they're gonna advance because, for one, the throw's longer and they're gonna have a high probability of being safe. Most likely or not, they are safe. But you know, it's gonna be difficult for you to get them out because you're throwing it all the way than having a cutoff. If you throw it to a cutoff, it's gonna be a lot efficient to exchange it from the cutoff to the base that base runner is running to. Okay. So here we go. We got another situation. Runners first and second, 2 outs. We're basically here first. If I get a hit in the infield, I'm probably going to throw it to first or second, depending on where it goes. When it comes to the corners, I'm going to go to first. Middle infielders, depending if it's going towards second base or away from second base, I'm probably going to go to second. If it goes away from second, if my shortstop or second baseman go away from second base, I'm going to probably go to first. Okay, so let's see what happens here. You just got to keep pitching. Hopefully I don't strike him out. That would be, I mean, I would take a strikeout too. That would be great. But most likely this is it. Well, there we go. We got a strikeout. So that's okay too. I mean, sometimes you're going to strike guys out and you know, you won't get a ball in play, which is totally fine. But, you know, more likely than not, this is the best way to practice to get you prepared to know what to do and how to do it in regards to your fielding in this video or in the game. Okay? So, here's a little situation that'll help you guys out. 0 outs, run on first. Looking for a double play here. See if we can get it. Okay, he fouls it off. Okay. Anything in the outfield, we are looking, to go to third. We always want to think ahead, guys. Okay. So right now, okay, there's a fly ball to left. He gets a base hit, so we're going to go to third. We're always throwing to the advanced base. Okay. Always think 2 bases ahead. Don't think one. Don't just go to two. Always think ahead. Throw to the advanced base. Okay? All right? Because there's so many times where, there are so many times where a lot of guys really struggle on how to field, and they just kind of throw to the base where the runner's at. And what I've had situations like this. Some of your opponents will advance just out of they don't even realize they advance, and then you throw at their base and they're safe at the next base. Like sometimes I see guys where they'll L1 with their base running, so that they're accidentally advancing to the next base, and you throw it to second, and then the guy from first is going to second to third, and he's safe at third. Okay, I've seen that happen. So always throw to the advanced base. Okay, so throw to the advanced base. Always be 2 steps ahead, and always, and I mean always, okay, always hit your cutoff if you can. Now, if it's a do or die and he has like an arm strength over 90, then you should be fine. Okay, but always try to hit your cutoff if you can. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Okay, all right, guys. So when it comes to getting your meter right, when it comes to fielding, the best way to do it is obviously you just gotta keep playing. Okay, you gotta keep pitching, you gotta keep throwing, and then you just gotta basically just practice it. Because many times or not, I mean, yeah, it's kind of difficult at first to get it right. Now, if you're using buttons, I mean, you don't have to worry about it. But when I'm using the meter when it comes to fielding, I use the button accuracy, which is the meter that you get to put it on green. Okay, and the best way you could do that is just keep practicing. Keep practicing, keep learning, keep getting that timing right, and sooner or later you'll get it. Okay, it'll just come natural to you. All right, and if it doesn't, it's okay. Just gotta keep practicing, gotta keep learning. But right now, see, like me right there, that's a perfect green right there. Okay, that's a perfect throw. What I really recommend, and I know it's tough, and I know you guys don't use this button accuracy, but button accuracy, and if you put it on the green every time, it will always be a clean throw. Always. You will not make an error. You will always have a clean throw. If you do not do button accuracy and you do buttons, and that's the one where you don't even have to worry about the meter and you just throw it. Yeah, you don't have to worry about the meter, but here's the thing. Here's the catch. It's a double-edged sword in this. Is that there might be a probability, depending on the play, where your player doesn't make the play. Doesn't make the throw. Okay, and it's an error, and you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to rage. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys do this. Okay, so what I recommend is you put it on button accuracy. Okay, put it on button accuracy, and you don't have to worry about that. Okay, but yeah, it does suck to put the meter on green, but in the long run, I'm telling you, you will not make a throwing error unless you do not put the meter or the basically the indicator on green. Okay, that's the only time you will make a bad throw. Okay, but it definitely helps a lot, and I highly recommend you do button accuracy, and then you get on this mode and you practice it. Practice it, practice it, practice it. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed, guys. Okay? All right? So with that being said, let's dive into more of the sliding/robbing home run. When it comes to robbing home runs, and this one's more difficult for me because I got to change my settings maybe to have my computer have more power. But the best way to robbing home runs is understanding how to use your R1, which is, I'll show you guys my cam. R1 for PS4 is here. Okay. Now, when it comes to robbing home runs and diving, you always want to think, okay, when it comes to robbing or diving, okay, you want to time it where the ball is probably hitting at the beginning of the part of the infield dirt. Okay, usually maybe a third away into the dirt would probably be best. But that's usually when you want to use R2. And then when it comes to robbing home runs, you want to think right when. Now I use high, so when I time it, obviously the arrows help, but you want to time it where right when the third arrow turns on and you see the ball, that's when you want to go up and rob the home run. Okay, so once you see the ball going up or going down, and all 3 arrows are on, that's when you want to go up and rob the home run. That's the best way to do it. It's hard to do it in custom practice because you can't really control it, even with dives. But R2 is the way to dive. But so when it comes to diving, that's how you really want to time it, is when it hits the dirt. And I would probably say if it's like maybe halfway or maybe a third, maybe a 3/4 of a way towards your player, then that's when you kind of make the dive for it. And then even when it comes to outfield diving, I know outfield diving is pretty tough, but when you see the red and then you dive towards it, you want to dive when you see the ball coming down towards your player. Okay, maybe halfway down when it comes to diving in the outfield when it's in play. Okay, that's the best way that I do it. It's kind of hard to show it on custom practice. I mean, I would have to record it on a gameplay, but that's the thing that I kind of use. That's my approach. Okay, when it comes to diving or robbing home runs, and I know it's pretty fun when you do it, because I know once you do it, you're like, oh my lord, I just did it. So that's how you make some web gem plays. But yeah, that's it for that's basically the tutorial and how to field, and basically how I field. From my baseball knowledge, obviously playing the game, but sometimes if you want to just put it in any situation that you want to use, this game gives you that tool to basically do that. Okay, and gives you the sliders to do that, so you can practice it. All right, so that's something that I highly recommend you guys do. It's the best. It worked for me for fielding, and I hope it helps you guys out. Okay, but with that being said, that is it for this video. If you guys like this video or enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and also comment in the comment sections below on what you guys think on what to work on with fielding in regards to maybe diving balls, robbing home runs, or anything, or any recommendations on what videos I should do in the future for you guys to help you guys out. And that will be the show 21. Also subscribe and hit those bell notifications button as well, so that you guys are notified for my next video uploads on this channel. But with that being said, Swingman is out. I wish you guys perfects and pinpoint pitching, and not only that, some gold glove fielding. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, take care.